Jerry Jones and Antonio Brown are following the same agenda. Create havoc, create chaos, create opportunity. We are still all working our 9 to 5s, talking about them. What's going on, guys, and welcome back into your weekly dose of a Way Off, aka Way Off Wednesday, aka your weekly dose of everything sport, a little society, and a crap ton of foolishness for the sports novice and the sports junkie alike. Let's see what we can do in one take. Probably not a lot. I wonder how many times I'm going to do that. So yesterday, no, was that yesterday? No. Today, I walked away from an argument. Noble thing to do, right? Yesterday, I engaged in an argument where I did my best to be respectful to address a friend's needs and concerns. Both situations I lost. I lost the argument. Maybe it's a mental thing. Maybe it's an actual thing. And today I finally learned something, which is why I'm filming this video. Stop listening to people. You're going to be in limbo constantly if you do, wondering why this person thought this, what is this person thinking, how is this person thinking it. Antonio Brown is one of the newest members of the Subtle Art of Not Giving an F Club. I haven't read that book. If you have, tell me how it is, but I'm assuming this is kind of where that's at or where that's going. He has simultaneously done dumb things and figured out that agreeableness is not real. Agreeableness is not a noble trait. It's not the standard. It's not a standard in which he should live by, and he is capitalizing off of that. Here's why. First point, he's not sure of himself. This is why he isn't even trying to stop the fact that he's acting foolish and not even attempting to cover it up like most of us do. And he's willing to go out and try new things. He is living off of that mentality that most people thrive in later. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to figure it out. I don't care what you think. I'm going to risk it all because I have nothing left to lose. 2, he's targeted his former teammates, notable celebs, and easily accessible industries at this current point in time. So the Steelers easily have one of the most loyal fan bases. You targeting Juju Smith-Schuster on a lackluster season is obviously going to get their attention, is going to make them talk about you more. You targeting Logan Paul, who is easily one of the most identifiable people or celebrities, some people consider him a celebrity in this day and age on the internet, is an easy target. I haven't even watched Logan Paul's videos and I know who he is. And then lastly, the music industry. I'm not in the music industry, so don't take offense to it, but it's one of the most readily accessible industries in the world right now, just because everything is a viral trend, everything is a viral dance. And he did what most players do or most people do when they can't figure out what to do: make music or do art or something like that, or do YouTube, I guess. Lastly, it's more of an example, not a point, but you people are still dumb enough to pay attention to him. I mean, people bought his jersey for Halloween just to call him a clown. Do you? Stop listening to people. People will buy it and they'll still keep talking. Look, AB is not a brilliant mind. I am part of that select few, aka the majority of everyone, who believes that his problems are spanning deeper than just catching a ball. But that's not the point that I'm trying to make. Antonio Brown is far from the norm right now. The NFL has become a cookie cutter league. They've really, actually through his help and through a few other people's help, have really established themselves as a no fun league, as a league that has a zero tolerance for everything, which is fine. That's the way it's supposed to be. You're really supposed to keep your organization intact. The only entertainment should be from the product that you are choosing to entertain with. In a split second, people will change their mind. This is where I get the agreeableness from. Everyone has an agenda. And with this agenda, they decide on their terms how they're feeling, what day it is, what color of blue the sky is, how they're going to react to something, and what that thing is. I mean, like, think about it. When we were growing up, all our parents told us to do was be bold, risk. We were told not to just follow the leader. We were told to be our own individual. And to be completely honest, Antonio Brown is doing that. And he is not harming anybody else in the process. If you honestly think about it, Robert Kraft's bullcrap has already come out. So how much more can you do? Him spilling his teammates' beans just goes to tell me that his teammates don't tell him anything because he talks too much, because we already knew that. Moral of the story, back to what I was saying, agreeableness is ever changing. In a split second, people are going to determine what is going to make you lose in this world, what is going to make you win. And there are only a few people who have figured out how to overcome that. Let's segue this now, shouldn't we? This is what AB's doing. He's breeding opportunity, acting out of term, Breeding chaos tells me that you have a separate agenda than that of what people can understand. That's why they call it chaos. But Antonio Brown has a separate agenda than that of most NFL owners and honestly most NFL fans. He's not worried about winning a championship. He cares about doing something that's going to remind him of who he is, so people can stop telling him what he isn't. Think about that. That was a good one. That was a really good one. As long as he catches a ball, you're happy. But for him, his agenda is about making a name for himself, getting glory in whatever term that is. I think he's understanding that his prime in football has passed him, not because of his play, but because of his actions. So now he is doing what he set out to do in the first place. Maintain his image of, look at me. Make sure that I'm in the spotlight. Y'all aren't going to forget about me. And should I get another chance to get on that field, I'm going to show y'all why you should have never forgotten about me. It's going to be a win-win for him, because the people who kind of gave up on him are going to believe in him again. The people who believed in him, he can make proud. The people who didn't like him in the first place, they're going to have more to talk about. It's gonna bring in more lovers, and it's gonna bring in more haters, and the lovers are going to make him proud, make him feel like he's doing the most amazing thing in the world, give him that glory that he so anxiously craves. And the people who can't stand him are going to help him prove his point even further. He is going to go beast on that field, just to make sure that if you talk about him, the one thing you can't say is that he wasn't talented. The one thing you can't say is that he didn't ball out. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that we're doing at this point in time, honestly, I'm going to say that AB doesn't even know it, is that we're fueling his purpose. Now, whether that be good or bad, I don't know. That's how much you pour into the man. Cool. Now back onto this attention breeds opportunity. Going for it, doing things that are out of the norm, acting different than the standard isn't new to the game, but only a select few people know it, do it, and stick to it. Attention breeds opportunity that opens doors that you've never seen before, that you didn't know exist. Now, the only issue with Antonio Brown is that I honestly don't believe he knows what his end game is. He wants a seat at the table, whereas people like Jerry Jones are and have been creating their own table. And that is the perfect segue for what else I'm going to get into. Jerry Jones and this Mike McCarthy hiring. Let's figure out what's on Jerry Jones's mind here. Jerry Jones and Antonio Brown are following the same agenda. Create havoc, create chaos, create opportunity. Essentially creating their own lane. So this move to hire Mike McCarthy was actually the least risky move that I feel like Jerry Jones has ever made in his tenure as owner and GM of the Dallas Cowboys. Reason being, if you go read his old book, you'll see he's very intentional. Jerry Jones is calculated in regards to making sure that he creates a narrative that you thought that you came up with. He knew he wanted a big role in this team. He knew he wanted a part in the success of this team. He didn't just want to be the standard owner. So, of course, his hand was going to be in everything. He created that narrative in the 80s or 90s. Where are we now, though? With Jerry, with his situation with the Cowboys, with this Mike McCarthy hiring. Jerry has put the pieces together so subtly that we have all bypassed it. In roughly 10 years, he has created a solid offense and honestly a solid sphere of a defense. He just needed one last piece to kind of get the most out of all of these players. He has easily slipped under us and is probably going to win a Super Bowl in 5 years. All that talk, all of the attention, all of the press that we've given him over the years, criticizing him, he was calculated in those efforts, okay, to make sure that y'all kept talking about the Dallas Cowboys. That's his whole goal. Make sure you keep the team in the press. And while you do all this criticizing, right under our noses, I think they got the last piece that's going to make them a Super Bowl caliber team. That's just me. Now, as far as the AB being on another team, he's still done, man. But while he figures out his next option, while he figures out what this transition piece is, because obviously it wasn't school, and I don't know, I heard not a whole lot of money, but I heard something else, the New Orleans song Today. He is opening doors for himself in other places. I'm not telling y'all to not be agreeable and to just be a butt to everybody and go about things your own way. That's just not how life works. But I am telling you to stop listening to everything people say. Beyonce is a diva. That's the latest news report that came out. What is a diva? Difficult to work with, XYZ. Kim K is an attention whore. Jerry Jones is greedy. And yet we are still all working our 9 to 5s, talking about them. Money, rings, press. They're all winning. I am Dominique. This has been your Way Off Wednesday. I'm way off and I'm way out. We make it clap.